Yeah, look at that timing, baby.
What's up, dude?
Let me get ready. All right,
Get
there we
ready.
go. Now we're good.
Wow.
Just a
Oh, I
reminder.
forgot that you have those.
You mean like that I earned it?
Wow. Heavyweight movie reviewer.
Yeah. I should change. Yeah, I should change it up right there. Like put some tape. What's that have? Are you a veteran now? A veteran?
It's
Ventura.
Ventura Spirits. It's like a local distillery near me.
Okay.
They're okay. I just put the hat on to cover my hair. The spirits are
Uh,
okay.
that's what I do every day. Hey, but how you been, man? How's it going?
I'm alright. I'm doing alright. What's today? Thursday, so almost Friday. That's cool. What about you, man?
Thursday. Yeah, it's like I'm doing pretty good too. But like, it's supposed to snow next Tuesday, and it's supposed to snow again the
Oh,
following.
man.
I was like, we gotta party it up
For
this
me, that
weekend.
sounds cool. Like, I want the snow. Because
Yeah,
it's going to be like 60s and 70s and sunny around here. That fucking sucks.
that's what I hate about California. Is the same day every day. It's like Groundhog Day over there.
Pretty much. Until it gets in the 100 degrees, then you hate your life. And then after
Wow.
that, you know, then after that, it's back to normal. But,
It gets 100 degrees here too. Then the humidity kicks on top. So
okay, we don't get much humidity. So that's
yeah.
nice. I don't think I could survive.
All right,
I'd
man.
be
So we're gonna
walking
do it.
around, my hair would look like Buck.
Oh wow. That's how my hair looks out right now, man. It's pretty long. It's like really afro.
Mine's
too.
getting long, but I don't think it's as long as yours yet.
Yeah.
Because it was a pump before, so the sides are still short, but the top
Yeah.
is long. So
I want to go to the barber and ask him to trim it up, but they're telling me you got to grow it all out at the same time. So I was like, I want the look of one of the brothers here, and I'll show you which one.
I
Uh,
don't look like Kevin with that
nah,
straight
nah,
up.
nah. What the
His
fuck?
hair is silly as hell to me.
I know. It looks so fake,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, that's cool. That's cool. Like, got Pedro. Got I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. Jesus, Jesus,
Jesus?
or
I don't know.
Jesus.
Call
You
him
know this
Jesus
guy?
for the memes. No, I don't know this guy.
Okay. He looks like somebody you would hang out with, man. Like, look at that face.
What? That seems racist. What the hell?
Hey,
Somebody
man,
I
we're
would
both
hang out
brown.
with?
We're all
Oh,
brown.
that's my
We're all
cousin.
brown. We're all brown. It's my primo.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, man. So we're gonna do a movie review on this thing, but let me put this belt down because it is pretty heavy.
Jeez. They
Heavy
don't call
lies
it
the
heavyweight
crown.
for nothing, man.
I know, right? All right, man. So I always do this for the movies. So in case no one's seen it or like you guys are here for statues, we are doing a, a movie review. Literally, it's on the freaking thumbnail
Yeah.
and the title of the thing. It's a movie review on Iron Claw. But without spoilers, man, what do you think of this movie?
Oh, I love it. Man, I watched it yesterday.
Don't spoil it. You spoiled the whole thing right there.
How's that? How's that
I'm
spoilers?
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Spoilers for the movie or spoilers for my thoughts? You didn't specify. No,
Well, before you go, I got a box from Britain.
Oh,
It's
wow.
wrestling related too. It's a huge ass box. I'm not gonna
Wow.
spoil it. Yeah. But while you're giving your thoughts, like I'm gonna unbox it for you guys. But you loved it?
Yeah, I wanted to watch it again before the review, just so I could have it fresh in my memory, because I think I watched it probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago, like maybe a
December.
month ago. So
Yeah, right after Christmas.
yeah. So I wanted to be fresh, and when I watched it again, like I remember loving it. I watched it again, and I was like, "Dang, man, this is really like one of the best films of 2023." I think. It came in at the tail end, but I think it's one of the best, and it's definitely my favorite A24 film. I don't normally like those films.
You don't like those? I love those films. Man.
Nah,
They're
I'm not-
always.
I haven't seen a ton of them, so I could be wrong in saying that it's my favorite one, because honestly, I wouldn't know. But I saw Green Knight, and I absolutely hated that movie.
Yeah, there's some of the movies. Some, but not for the most part. Like some of the movies.
But yeah, and I'm not even the biggest wrestling guy either. Like, I had no idea who the Von Erich brothers were, the family. I had no idea. Like, my wrestling era was like 2006 SmackDown versus Raw, playing on PlayStation 2, and then like watching Raw and SmackDown. Like, when right around the time when it was like John Cena and Triple H was there, but he's getting older, and Randy Orton and
Oh yeah.
Edge. That's like my time of wrestling, and I only really watched it because my brother loved it. Like my brother loved Rey Mysterio. I love Eddie Guerrero, and that's how it was, dude.
Latino. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's the same time I like started watching wrestling. Well, this guy Pedro's asking, did anyone here grow up watching WCCW? I never grew up with that. Like I've heard of
Nobody
it.
here grew up in the
Yeah,
80s. Well, I don't
yeah.
know. Maybe Steve got a little bit of it.
Oh my god,
Steve caught a little bit of the 80s.
a little bit, a little bit. I'm not that old.
Just a little, the tail end of it.
So, without spoiling, you said you love it. It's like you're not much of a wrestling boy. I love wrestling, man. I love wrestling so much. I got these art prints, and I'll show you what art.
Oh
What art.
man.
I'm gonna give my thoughts on it really quick, but let me show you on the big screen. So, do you know Shawn Michaels by chance?
Yeah, the Heartbreak Kid.
Have you ever seen his autograph?
I don't think so.
You never heard of it? His autograph.
No, I don't think
Okay,
so.
I love this thing. Look at this thing. I don't love his autograph, but I love this print. So it's authenticated,
Oh damn! Look at
and
that.
it's
Oh wow.
so his
So that's his
signature.
autograph.
It's legit his autograph, but his signature is supposed to be a big ass penis or a big ass dick.
Upside down.
No, well,
Because it
it's
looks
upside
like
down.
the because it looks like the balls are on the other side, but it's
Yeah,
flipped
that's
up.
what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow,
but
that's
that's what he's known for. But this art print was done by I forget the guy's name.
I like the
But
art.
yeah, I love the art. So this is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, right? Shawn Michaels, but my favorite wrestler of all time.
It's funny because I think Triple H is my favorite wrestler of all time, and him and Shawn Michaels go, hand in hand.
Yeah. DX and everything. This is
Yeah.
my favorite wrestler of all time.
Wait,
You
who's
see-
that? I can see the picture, but I don't know who it is.
It's how dare you? It's Bret Hart.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's autographed too.
Bret Hart was cool too. I used to use him a lot in SmackDown versus Raw.
Sharpshooter. I used to put my brothers through it. Yeah, I love these art prints. So I got them.
Those are dope.
Yeah, man. Like I was supposed to. I want to meet them. Like I honestly want to meet them, but with my luck, I think they're gonna pass away before I meet them.
What? They're not.
If I,
How old are they? They're not like that close. They're
But
like
they're
60s, right? 70s?
Yeah,
Not even 70s.
but they're wrestlers. They don't live that far.
Oh, wow.
They
Wrestlers
don't.
don't
They
live
don't. Like spoilers.
Maybe. I never thought of wrestling as like I know it's a hard sport and like hard on the body, but I never thought of it like football or like boxing where like you're taking head hits and I never thought of it that way to where they don't live long, but maybe.
Pedro says,
Look
I
at
thought
Ric
you were,
Flair. Sorry. I mean,
No,
that
you can-
fool's alive and kicking, man.
that guy somehow is living, man. I don't know how he's living with all the stuff he's been like up to. Like,
exactly.
goddamn. Like, how does he get to live that long and I don't get to live that long? Pedro says, I thought you were gonna pull out his Playgirl issue, but I guess it's still under your mattress. Yeah.
Wow. He did
Because
Playgirl? That's for real?
Shawn Michaels did, yeah.
Wow.
Did a
He
whole
did it
thing.
under the name Mike Honcho.
All right, man. So we are gonna go over the movie now, and usually when I do this, like what I'm starting to do is starting to freaking grab it from Rotten Tomatoes. So this movie is a really quick movie info on this one. It says a true story of inseparable Von Erich brothers who made history in the intensely competitive world of professional wrestling in the early 1980s. Through tragedy and triumph, under the shadow of their domineering father and coach, the brothers seek larger than life immortality on the biggest stage in sports. And I was like, man, I hate the dad. I hate the dad so much. I've always wanted to be a dad, but this is not the dad like I see myself being.
Yeah. That's how it was back then, I think. Like,
Yeah.
He meant well, but ultimately, like, he was the downgrade of the family.
Oh yeah. So the actors, the cast and crew. Oh, the director, first of all, is Sean Durkin. I don't know if you know that guy by chance.
The name sounds familiar. I'd have to look it up to see what he's done.
I'll pull it up real quick. So he's done the Iron Claw, the Nest, the Rental, Katie Says Goodbye, The Eyes of Mother. I don't recognize any of these movies.
Christine, I know Christine, right?
uh, that's her
That's
name.
the is that the Stephen King Christine? Oh, maybe it's not. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know that movie.
I don't
But
know
yeah,
any of these
this.
then.
Yeah, but he looks like he's been busy, like 2020, 2018, 2016, 2015. So he's been pretty busy.
Well, I should have
Uh,
looked right there, and I would have known it was not Christine because it didn't come out in 2016. Yeah, I never heard
uh,
anything of that.
So yeah, the actor Zac Efron, amazing. Like this
Amazing.
is performance of his lifetime. I think this is like I don't. I hope it's not going to define
Yes,
his career, but
I would
damn.
agree. Because other than this, I mean, I've seen him in roles where he's had emotion. I'm used to seeing him in like the frat, like the neighbors kind of stuff, or
Yeah,
like I never saw High School Musical, so I never had that in my head for Zac Efron. I never saw that stuff, but
yeah.
yeah, there's another movie. It's with I love it too. Is Michael B. Jordan, uh, Miles Teller, and Zac Efron. They're like three best friends that were like roommates, and they used to party all the time. And then it's like they start off partying, but then like they go through life changes and like they grow up and
They become dads. Yeah.
um. But I don't remember the name of that movie. But I love that movie. That's the other movie that I love with him.
Zac Efron nailed it. Like the first scene that you see him in, like so we'll go over the movie in a second, but yeah, amazing. This is the guy's hair I want. Jeremy Allen White. That's how my hair is going right now. It's going all over the
I'll say
place.
your hair is similar, probably the most similar to him.
Yeah,
He's got
that's what
like,
I'm.
I mean, he's got like wild and crazy hair, but
That's
tame at the same time, I guess.
I can't take mine, man. Mine, like like yours goes afro, so I gotta get that product or
Mine is
whatever.
frizzy. I hate like I just get a bunch of strands that like what I mean. I hate that.
I know exactly what you mean. I hate it. Yeah, like great actor. Harrison Dickinson, Stanley Simmons, and Mara and Holtz.
So Jeremy Allen White, obviously the biggest thing I know him from is Shameless. I love Shameless,
Never
and
seen it.
he's one of the best characters, dude. If you like Jeremy Allen White, watch Shameless. It's a show about like a bunch of kids that grew up in
Boston.
was it bot it's like a Chicago or a Boston or someplace like where they grew up poor, right? They didn't have shit and their dad's a piece of shit, and it's funny but at the same time like it's emotional, and like it's a really good show, and there's like 12 or 14 seasons or something.
Okay.
But it's good to it's like one of those good shows if you're looking for something to just put on while you're doing something and listen. It's good. And then Harris Dickinson, I never really saw him in anything except the newest The King's Man, like the prequel to Kingsman,
Oh, okay, okay.
and he plays sort of the main character. He's really good in that. But other than that, I had never seen him in anything,
Yeah,
so it was cool. And then there's two more brothers, right? 'Cause there's
yeah. It says Stanley
or one more.
Simmons. Yeah, this.
I never saw Mike in anything. They
Yeah,
don't
I
even
never
have a
saw him.
picture of Mike. You hate to see it.
Disrespect right there.
Yeah, I never saw him in anything, but he was good. He was good.
I don't know what this means, but like, well, anyway, it's a rated R movie. Movie was directed by Sean Durkin. Release date was December 22nd on 2023. So
Yeah,
yeah,
a couple weeks ago. Then.
yeah, yeah. So let's get into the movie, and I love this movie. I saw it again today, right before we got on, and I was happy to see it again. I
Damn, you saw
was
it today, man. You one up me. I saw it yesterday evening.
I always went up you, man. Don't forget it.
Wow! Oh, the heavyweight champion of the world.
I
I
got
don't
the
even
belt
remember
ready
him
and
wrestling
everything.
that dude. That's how it opens up. I'm
Yeah,
looking at
that's how
that
it
dude and
literally
I don't even
opens.
remember that dude.
Well, the movie starts off with like seeing his dad be a
Oh, that's right.
wrestler. Yeah,
Yeah, and
it's
he
black
gets the
and
car
white.
and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like that intro. Like it was black and white, and the screen was smaller too, so it was
Yeah.
like a little throwback.
Old school.
And like, man, I hated his dad from the very beginning. Like, yeah, I've known friends that go like I have friends that have had like military fathers and everything that they're hard asses on them. It's just like I'm sure that dad didn't want to be treated like that when he was a kid. So why would he treat his kid like that?
That's why he treats his kid like that. I'm imagining because it doesn't really go into why his dad is the way he is, but they do mention he changed his name
Hmm.
because I think they said because of his father. He didn't want his dad's last name. So that guy changed his name. And I was like, okay,
Uh,
they don't say anything about their grandpa or his dad, but I'm guessing it wasn't a good relationship. So I could see why that guy came out the way he did, probably.
so yeah, this is based on true event, right? Like I think like some parts were like, changed up, but for the most part it was based on like on a true story or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we it starts off with his dad. I couldn't This was a hard movie to get pictures for some reason. Like I couldn't find good pictures of his dad or his mom.
Yeah.
You'll see the pictures I got. But yeah, it starts off with like you see Zac Efron like York baby. He's like
Dude.
sleeping and like he when he wakes up, I was like, this guy's
Oh,
flexing.
yeah.
What? I was like, no, he's not flexing. He's just waking up. I was like,
He
fuck.
just got 0% body fat, man. It's crazy. He's been like that for a while now. Like, in this, like, he's always been super shredded, but
Yeah.
he's, like, bulked in this, too. At the city. He got bigger, and it's like, dude, this guy has literally no body fat at all. It's
I
crazy.
I, I sometimes think like actors when they do this type of like have you seen The Machinist with Christian Bale?
Yes, but a long time ago.
A long
And
time
he's
ago, right?
super
He's
skinny?
Yeah, he's like 80 pounds or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
And it's like legit. It's not no CGI or any of that crap.
Yeah.
I feel like when they do it right, like for the role, the movie is 10 times better, right?
Yeah.
Zac Efron did it here, and I was like, man, this guy looks like a freaking tank walking around. Like every single scene, I was like, man, is he like on steroids? But
Yeah.
I
No
don't know.
wrestlers looked like that back in the day. Like, I don't even think that it was possible to look like that shredded. You know what I mean? Like, they were big, but he's like shredded. You know?
He's That's like life goals right there, man. I'm not like talking down on him, but like God, that's I'm trying to work out now. I'm trying to get to this level. Like,
I think he's. I think he's said in interviews and stuff like he eats like a super strict regimen and like almost like it's like boiled chicken and broccoli. You know what I mean? So it's
for
like
everything, yeah.
yeah, and I'm sure he's gone through hell to get it. And yeah, it's. I mean, he did a great job. He looks amazing.
The thing that caught me off guard too the second time, like I mean, I remember seeing it the first time, but he's the only wrestler I see out of all of them that wrestles barefoot.
Yeah, I thought it
It-
was weird. He wrestles barefoot. He wears the underwear. I think the other ones wear like trunks at least, or maybe David wore underwear too. But David has like the cape,
yeah, yeah.
and
When they
Carrie
come in.
same thing. Carrie had a robe and he had the long boots, and Mike wore boots too. I think so. Yeah, he's the only one that like literally just wears the underwear when he wrestles.
I love how it started too. After the whole parent, dad and mom get that car and everything, like you hear it like his dad's building up a business, right? He's trying to make
Yeah,
a future for his kids. It's all supposedly for his kids, but you come
yeah,
to find out he's doing it for his kids to not only run his legacy, but to get back at like the wrestling corporation or wrestling whatever. It's just like you never gave me a chance, so now I'm gonna get a chance to my kids or
yeah.
whatever. I was like, fuck this guy.
I I don't. You hate him, right? You come to it's like a love hate thing with the dad that he's a hard ass and he does everything for selfish reasons. He tries
Yeah.
to make it. He did take care of his family. But he did it selfishly, and this family was an afterthought, I think. But in a way, he reminds me of my grandpa, which is another. My grandpa was born 1950, so
Yeah. It's
I
like
could see it's that time, man. Like in their head, all they had to do was provide. If they provided, that was love. Like they didn't need to be caring or anything else. Just provide.
I forgot to start this thing up with a clip. I have a clip for this thing. I love this clip. I wish I started off, but we're not too late, so I'm gonna use this clip really quick.
Pop tried to protect us with wrestling. He said if we were the toughest, the strongest, nothing could ever hurt us. I believed him. We all did.
That's a dope
I
clip.
love that scene.
I love when
man.
that scene when he's running against the ropes. That's a good scene.
But it was just like literally what you were saying. Like that's his dad's thing. Like he just wants to provide no matter what. Like
Yeah.
it's for the better good for themselves, but he doesn't care about their feelings. Is like as long as they have a tomorrow, like they're good. He's
Yeah.
fine. It's hardcore love, man. He says he was that big, carried steroids. Not sure about Kevin. I
In
think
real
we're
life, is that what you're saying? In real life, because I know in the movie, it only ever shows David doing steroids, and then Carrie. I mean, it shows Carrie doing all kinds of drugs, so maybe there was steroids in there,
yeah.
but it never shows Kevin doing it. It only ever shows David and Carrie doing drugs. So, yeah,
I like what this guy says. Jesus says it really felt like you were in the 70s. Great period piece. Yeah,
yeah.
the whole vibe gave me that 70s. Yeah.
Um,
Oh, and the music, man. I want to buy that. Like, you remember when you used to buy the
Rush.
CD or the album for
I
the
want the
movie? I'm
Rush
like,
album.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
I love that.
That was
Oh, yeah. So he
great.
says in real life.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he did,
Not,
and I'm sure the actor did as well for this. You know, I'm like, there ain't no. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised anyway. The other guys aren't huge. Jeremy Allen White's pretty fucking shredded, but
yeah, that guy. That could be
David
Bane.
isn't really. Maybe he didn't, and Mike definitely didn't, but maybe Carrie. But he's also pretty big and shameless. So like, some of those guys, you know, sometimes you're born cut like that. I guess, you know, because he's not
So
huge.
yeah. So it starts off, they go to a wrestling match, and then after the wrestling match, you get to see them, like the brothers, do their own thing. Like one's jacking off in the shower because
That
the
was
house is so.
hilarious.
I know,
That
man.
was
I was
hilarious,
like,
dude.
that's real life issues right there. But
Like,
give
shut
me a
up, Mike.
minute.
Yeah.
I swear, when he locks it again, he's like, "Oh, it's gone now. It's gone. I gotta restart
Yeah,
again."
exactly.
Yeah.
I have to start over. That's funny.
But yeah, so you see Zac Efron at his workout, and yeah, I love what they do with this scene because he's just like doing what's this thing? Bench. He's benching it, and you
Yeah.
just hear him yell towards the end of his workout, like he's just pushing and pushing and pushing, and yeah, it was intense, man. Like without even saying much, the scene worked out. It was cool.
Yeah. I really love Zac Efron Kevin. Like I would say he's the main character in the whole show.
Yeah.
His whole like how he goes through this. But he really did a good job. And
Yeah.
the working out scenes are great. They all have a couple working out scenes, and yeah, obviously I love that, man.
So today I went to go see it. I was me, this lady, and this older guy. It was only three of us in the movie theater. And when they were working out, or like when you see them like get jacked and all that stuff, I was like, "Dang man, like, I'm starting to feel like Hulk right now. I need my."
It's funny because
man.
I saw it yesterday, and I went to the gym, and it just happened to be arm day,
Yeah,
and so I was doing the same curls that you see Carrie doing later, when Mike's listening to Rush. Yeah, I was like,
you're
hell yeah.
feeling it. Yeah. You're like, I'm gonna get my leg popped off. No, I'm just kidding. All right. It's just like one of the guys said. It gives you a whole '70s vibe, and like, this scene you get to see like where they all wrestle and everything, and the whole town, the whole city's in it, man. I really like the scene a lot. Everyone's definitely like, they're like basically heroes or celebrities within the community.
Yeah.
So,
Especially Kevin, man. Everybody knows Kevin. That's a cool, like, it's cool for him. You get further along in the story, but it's cool that, like, you know, he's well known.
yeah, and like respected, yeah. But before this too, you see his brothers, like they all interact with each other. One of them plays guitar. One of them is like going for the Olympics, so he's training in another spot. And one of them is just hanging out with his brother, just trying to be there for him or whatever. I like that. It took a little bit to build up. Like, I did like the time they spent like showing that though.
Yeah, building so you end up falling in love with the brothers. Like, you care about these characters.
Yeah, character development, but more than character development, it was just like the brothers, like they function.
That's one of my biggest takeaways. If you have brothers, or if you grew up that way with all your brothers, and like I have two brothers, so that's what hit me the hardest was like, damn man, like brothers,
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you about too, because I have two brothers as well, and like I could see myself doing this with my brothers. I'm the oldest brother, so
I
like
got a question to ask you then too about
yeah.
the brothers. Then I got one. Well, when we get to that, I'll ask.
All right, you might want to write it down. Like
No,
it might take a while.
yeah, right. No, I'll
No,
remember it
no.
because I was thinking about it yesterday when I was watching it that I wanted to ask you.
Yeah. So this scene, like, we're still opening it up. We're getting to know them, and they're like, you get to see how they make their money or their, family business going. And you also get to see their respected families. So they go up to the church. Everyone is like greeting them, and they're like really, really humble about the whole thing. They're like, hey, we're walking in, and they pray with everybody else. Um, I thought this scene was pretty cool. Like, I'm not like a really religious guy, but like usually when these things happen, like everyone gets together and does,
Well, and
honor somebody that's something.
it sells that time period.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
everybody did everything together. Everybody dressed up and went to church on Sunday. You know, no matter what, the whole family's there. It doesn't matter if you guys are fighting or whatever. Everybody goes to church together, dresses nice and all
Yeah, it's definitely a thing of the time.
that.
And
That I
sorry.
think is when he mentioned the Von Erich thing. I think when they're walking up the steps to the church, I think that's when they mention why his dad went under the name Von Erich
Oh, okay, okay.
for a split second.
So yeah, I think I mixed these up, but then like you get to meet this. See, there's not. It's hard to find pictures for this thing, but this is where Zac Efron meets this girl. I think this girl was like the staple of this whole movie. Like if he didn't have her, I don't think he would have got through all of this, to be honest. Or he would have like
Probably not,
getting
man, because
yeah.
yeah, it's spoiler. We'll get to it to the end, but yeah, I'd agree. She was his rock. Because I don't know if we're gonna talk about this scene, so I'll talk about it now.
Okay.
There's a scene when it might be after church. It might be right after church. They're eating, or maybe it was before. Anyway, they're eating breakfast, and the dad's going in on Mike because he's the youngest brother, and he's the biggest, but he's also like the leanest. He's not working out, and the dad's going in on him like, you need to start working out. You need to think about your future because these are the sons I love. Yeah, this one. So I might have skipped ahead. My bad.
No, it's
But
okay. It's okay.
anyway, later on, Kevin goes up to the mom and is like, I want to talk to you about something. Like, I think our dad's going a little hard on Mike, and she's like, oh, that's between them. Like,
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
concern me. Like, that's another thing. Like, families just kind of let things slide. They push everything under the rug. And anyway, I said all that because you could tell there's not a lot of sensitivity, or like they don't let you show emotion in that family. Like, you have to be strong. So when he meets that girl, like, she just, she becomes that for him. He can confide. He can be his emotional
Support.
release. Yeah, like he can tell her things and she'll support him, and it's okay. So that's what I agree with that, what you said.
Oh yeah. So like it's a thing of the time too, right? Because like I grew up with my uncles and my just my mom. I never like grew up with my dad. Whenever I would try to speak out to my mom, she'd be like, uh, you know, if you're depressed, that just means you're sad. So like, it
Just
wasn't her
don't
fault.
be sad.
Yeah, just don't be sad. Like eat this,
Yeah,
or go
yeah,
do something, like.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, I don't understand. Like, how come you don't understand what I'm trying to tell you? And like,
Or
it took me
she'd say,
for
go talk to your uncles or something,
yeah, yeah. And I would
or go talk to your
talk
brothers.
talk to my uncles. They'd be like, "Go find yourself a girlfriend." And I was like,
Yeah, exactly.
"Okay." But it's like you said earlier, it's a thing of the time, and like, yeah. I mean, like, I feel like we're projecting all our feelings and our emotions to these characters, but it's not fair because it's a whole different time. So they're reacting to it, all of it, different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since you brought her up, I'm looking up her name real quick. Lily James. So I think she's beautiful, man. And
She's beautiful. Yeah.
the only other show I know her from is Pam and Tommy on Hulu, and
Mhm.
it's like the story of Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay.
Not Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy
Yeah, I think
Lee. Tommy
Tommy
Lee.
Lee.
And dude, she's really good in it. She looks a lot different in this because she doesn't have, huge fake boobs and blonde hair like the look of Pam Anderson, but she's really pretty, and she looks like that kind of country small town kind of girl that she's meant to be in this. But yeah, it's funny the way they meet too, like how he's kind of like, what, because he's I don't want to say he's dumb, but he's a big wrestling dude. Like he doesn't overthink things, I'll say that. So when they meet up, she's like giving him shit, and it's funny, dude.
Oh yeah, I loved it. Really quick, Pedro says our grandparents had to grow up way faster than we did. That's true too. It's
Depends on your situation, because I would say I grew up just as fast. So,
but
yeah,
it's
but
funny
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that about this. How they met up. This guy is basically Zac Efron's basically 90% wrestling, 5% family, and 5% resting. So, it's a weird spot, I'm sure, for him because he's signing autographs, right? He's signing autographs for everybody, and this girl just asks him like, "You gonna ask me out? Like, aren't you gonna follow up with more questions? Like, didn't your family teach you how to ask questions?" And like, yeah, just like you said, he's like kind of dumb. He's like, "What?"
Yeah, exactly. He also just got out of the match, so it was like, I mean, he had a freaking black eye when she's asking him. So I was like, dude, give him, give him a chance,
Girls never understand that. Like they just want to talk to you. That's all they want to do. Like, but I do love that he met her. That's his gift in life. I think he got to meet this girl in real life. I'm sure, but like, yeah, like you only run to 3 girls in your life that are like this, and
why 3? That's
supposedly that's the rule. That's
okay.
Yeah, that's the rule my uncle always gave me. 3 is like
you got
only
3
get 3
chances.
in life.
So
Yeah.
Well, damn.
I'm on 6 right now.
What if you
so.
ran into What if you ran into 3 before you told me that? I gotta go back.
I know, right? I gotta go back. Yeah, I love the scene, and then like you meet him, and then like you start finding out like their brothers are like legit, like they are starting to go up the ranks. Zac Efron is getting a title fight. He gets a title fight, right, against I forget who it was.
He got the title. He got a shot at a fight that if he did good in would have given him the title fight.
Yeah,
and that was against what was that dude's name? He's that old dude. He was a heavyweight at the time, but he was
like
old,
legit heavyweight.
Yeah. Say it was like Harvey or something. I don't know, but he didn't do good in the match anyway. Because you could tell. So you could tell early on when he does the interview where his brother's in the background making fun of him. You could tell that Kevin is a great wrestler and great in the ring, but he doesn't have that performance entertainment personality.
Yeah, he's not good at the mic.
He's not good at all on the mic, and that's where David comes in. David's, really good on the mic. Maybe not as a good wrestler as Kevin, but that's what it is. It's entertainment. So he's a really good personality.
Oh yeah, personality is best way to put it. But yeah, like he gets like suplexed onto the concrete floor, and that's where Zac Efron like he gets hurt. His back. I'm sure I get suplexed on the regular ring. I get hurt.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking on the floor. Man, I didn't even notice it the first time watching it, as I did the second time when he hits the ground. I was like, oh, that's why I guess I don't know if I must have missed that scene or something. Like maybe I went to the bathroom the first time watching it, and I missed that scene. But I was like, oh, this makes sense,
Yeah. Big thank you to Pedro. His name was Harley Race, the first wrestler he fought, and the second guy is the Nature Boy.
Yeah, Ric Flair.
Ric
He was
Flair.
great.
No
comment.
No comment.
So, well, go ahead. Well, I'll do it right here. So, I always thought Carrie was the oldest, but they do it. I guess again, watching it the second time, I paid attention more. Carrie is the second youngest to Mike, so it's Kevin, David, Carrie, and then Mike. And then they mentioned they had an older brother who had passed away when
Mhm.
they were really young. But I don't know, for some reason he even looks older than them to me. But I I I didn't put that together the whole time. I always thought he was the older one. But yeah, sorry.
No, no, it's all good. Like, it's a good point because like if you put me in between my brothers, I don't look as like the oldest. Like I look young as crap
Me either.
for some
I
reason.
look like the middle brother.
Yeah.
Even my younger brother will look older than me soon. He's
Yeah.
getting big and he's like Mike. So, but yeah, my middle brother, he's got like a full on. We'll go with. I used to give him shit, since this is a good wrestling comment. I used to give him shit all the time because he has that Matt Hardy goatee,
Yeah.
that line, you know. And so I used to make fun of him all the time. You got that douchebag goatee Matt Hardy has. But anyway, yeah, same.
So yeah, you get to see them like progressing. They're being badasses all through it. Like, well, this guy, what's his name again?
Carrie or Jeremy Allen
Carrie.
White. Yeah.
Yeah, Carrie only joins them because he can't go to the Olympics anymore. There's something going on in Russia where it's going to be held at, and they call off the Olympics for the Americans to go. Or for the Americans to go to the Olympics.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he was part of the team, and he gets called back home. And yeah, it's like now, like you're part of the family, so we're going to put you in the wrestling business. And I was like, this guy isn't tan enough. Like he needs to get a tan before he joins.
Well, Kevin is super tan. Kevin has like that golden tan.
Yeah, I love the whole dynamic with these guys. Like the initial part of the movie where they start building up the brothers up as a family, like it pays off at the end, or pays off through the whole movie actually. And then you find out that Zac Efron gets married to his girlfriend, and then like you find out this guy is having like kidney issues or intestine issues or something.
Yeah, because during that fight we were talking about, his pre-title fight, that's when you notice. That's another. See, sometimes I miss subtle details. That's when you notice that the dad is thinking of. So Kevin's the oldest. Kevin's the advanced wrestler. He has the experience, and he's supposed to be the next heavyweight. But in that fight, when he gets hit on the back and he gets a little slow and he loses the fight, David jumps in because he noticed his brother's struggling, and he thinks he's helping him out by getting on the mic and talking trash and all this stuff. And that's when the dad notices, like, oh man, David is the personality. Like, he's the one that he's going to bring in the tickets. And that's all the dad doesn't give a shit who's going to be the heavyweight. In his mind, he's like, who's going to bring in the views and the tickets? So anyway, that's why David has to start working harder. And that's when he starts taking steroids. And then, yeah, you get the intestine issues.
Yeah. So, Zac Efron is getting married. You find this guy in the bathroom throwing up, and then like he's throwing up blood. Like anytime anybody, like I've thrown up blood before, and that's no good. Like you never want to ever throw up blood. If you throw up blood, go directly to the hospital, emergency room, just a heads up, or it's gonna affect you later on.
It
But
could
like,
be stress though.
No, just go to the hospital.
No, well, I'll go to the. It depends on how much blood it is.
No, God damn it.
I guess I'm like David. I would be sitting there like, I'm fine. It's a stomach issue,
Send me to Japan.
Yeah, exactly.
So he gets on a flight to Japan to, pay his respects and, what's it called? I guess to develop more, because he's on the road to fight Ric Flair for a championship title, So, but he has to prove himself overseas and in other matches. So they send him to Japan. And coming to find out, when he gets to Japan, I think within a week he bleeds out, he dies, and then his dad is like literally like, well, first of all, he can't show emotion because his dad tells him, you don't shed tears, you don't show people that we're less than we were yesterday. And I was like, piece of shit, like my brother just died.
Yeah, that was messed up when they're all drinking after the funeral, and the dad is like, he's like, I know this is a tough time, but we got to think about our next move. I'm like, bro, you literally just buried him, and you're already, we got to think about the next move. Like, we got to show the world that we're strong in times of adversity. And I was like, damn, man, he's like, literally, this just happened. Don't you have so the dad is like, super super tough. Like, dude, just
Yeah.
nothing. You know.
Like to an extreme, yeah. But like here is like where I get the sense too of like, his wife is looking at him going like there's no emotion coming from him, And like
Yeah.
so that I wanted to point that out because I have a conversation later about his dad. Like she actually stands up and says like you'll never get through him. He's not evil, but
Yeah.
he's mean. You'll never get through him. So whatever you're feeling, I hear you. I understand you, but like you will not get through him. Even you tell him all the things you're telling me, he will not understand. So come back home and just stay with me. uh
Yeah.
Pedro says the postcard scene got me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was sad.
So his brother passes away, but like before he passes away, like Pedro said, like a postcard, Zac Efron picks up on the counter. He reads it, and it's basically his brother saying like, "Hey, I'll be back home pretty soon." So I
Yeah.
don't even know why I'm writing this because I'll probably be there before this card gets there.
Yeah, exactly. It was another one of those things how you were saying like uh everybody he's a celebrity, right? And he
Mhm.
says in the postcard like even in Japan someone thought I was
Oh,
you. He's like, and it made me smile. Like everywhere he goes people think he's Kevin, you know? And he's proud of his older brother, so that was sad.
it was extremely sad, man. Like, yeah, because Zac Efron just like looks at like there's a bunch of mail on that thing, and he's just like, sometimes you get that little feeling, like I should probably just get up and go check it out, And
Yeah.
I'm sure like he felt it, like his brother or whatever. But then like Zac Efron has to defend his honor, his family legacy and all that stuff. And then I don't know, Ric Flair. This is like the worst Ric Flair cosplay I've ever seen in my
Really?
life. Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't watch that era of wrestling. I know Ric Flair's like almost like the godfather of wrestling, right? Like so
Woo.
yeah, he's super well known. So that's what I was thinking the whole time watching it. I was like, I wonder if real wrestling fans like this or don't like it. Cuz in my mind, he's Ric Flair like cuz all I see when I see Ric Flair is super bleached hair and the super like macho like ladies man kind of guy and like that's all I see. So I was like, oh, that's Ric Flair to me. But yeah, I didn't.
For the fans, I'm gonna get this guy out of here. I'm sorry.
You hate to see it.
Oh man, no. When you see, I'm sorry. When I
was
see
like-
Ric Flair,
Go ahead, go.
when I see Ric Flair, 16-time world champion, guy who flies all these jets and wears gaiters, all this other, like he's like really, really charismatic. He's just like
So he didn't go out. He didn't go out all out enough. Is what you're saying.
not enough. Yeah,
Because he's like, I did like what he's like. That's where I'm wearing an $800 suit, and you're wearing I don't know what the hell that is. I wouldn't be caught in that. I was like,
that was
laugh,
good.
dude.
That was good. Peter says he did enjoy this one. I didn't enjoy. I guess this is like initial Ric Flair. So when he's not,
You don't get enough of him.
yeah,
You definitely don't get enough of him. You get like two scenes. You get this, and then you get later when he wrestles Kevin. But yeah,
what I loved about this movie too was like the font. I'm a big stickler about font.
oh
yeah. They used the old school font on like all the scenes where they were having wrestling matches, and it was a cool throwback. It made me feel like I was back in those days or watching the old school tapes.
yeah, that's true.
So yeah, there's Ric Flair, and then like he has to defend his honor, and then like I think this is before or after, because like no, this is after because this guy has to. What happens in the scene actually?
It was at that when I was telling you the dad is telling him like we got to think of our next move. you know?
Yeah.
And then he's like they're gonna give us a title shot against Ric Flair for the championship, and we got to take it. And so Kevin's like I'm ready, but then out of nowhere you get this guy, you get Kerry. He's like no, I'm ready too. I kind of got annoyed at that. I was like what the fuck? You just started. What do you mean you're? And we don't even know they had not shown his personality on stage at all. So I was like, wait a minute, what? And then he's like, no, I'm ready. I deserve it too. And I was like, what the hell? And then the dad is like, well, we'll flip a coin. Yeah, that's the only fair way to judge whose turn it is. And I'm like, that's the dad again, like just being an idiot because like obviously the fair way is let Kevin get his damn title shot, but they flipped the coin, and it's Kerry. So
Yeah,
Then you see Carrie working out. And this is the
bulking
scene
up.
I was talking about. He's doing hammer curls, and
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh hell yeah.
I like seeing his back, man. Like I'm a stickler for that. Like my back is like
Oh damn.
I'm trying to get that diamond shape on my back. Pedro says that being said, I would not have been upset if they cast Jay Lethal in the Flair role.
Jay Lethal? I don't even know who that is.
Going on. Yeah. So his dad's going to be like, no, this is way before. I'm sorry, this is like way mixed up. But this is a scene where his dad goes like, you're not going to be able to go to the Olympics, so F it, join the family business, and yeah,
Oh
that's a way
wow,
off
dude.
scene.
That must have been a joke. Because Jay Lethal don't look nothing like Ric Flair for obvious racial reasons. But
Jesus.
anyway, we'll continue.
But like, so see, I couldn't find too many pictures, so I tried to grab as many pictures as I could. This scene was this like what scene was this at?
So this is okay. I know he's talking to the guy, and he's telling him like, about the ratings and the views, and that. Yeah, I'm not gonna remember when what it like timeline this was, but this might have been before David even got the title shot. I don't remember.
Oh, okay, yeah, I think so.
But I remember he's talking to the dad's doing the books, which is a big part later. The dad's doing the books and like separating all the money, and they're talking about the views because this whole time this is happening, the dad runs that platform. Like I forget, I don't know what the name of that wrestling platform is, but it's like the second
WCCW.
biggest platform in the world
Yeah.
at this point. And so that's what the dad is doing, and they're talking about the views, and the whole time they're growing as the sons are, getting their title shots and everything.
So, yeah, this guy, he wins the title for the family. His dad, he wins the title for the family, like a title his dad has never won before. He brings it home, and Zac Efron's like, don't drink and drive. He gets on a bike and he loses his foot. Would you say?
Yeah, like pretty much like the whole like 1/3 of his leg. He loses it.
So yeah, he loses his foot, but then I don't know for what reason he continues to wrestle like with missing
That's all he
foot.
has, I guess.
Yeah,
Because before this, like, it kind of starts to show that this guy drinks a lot. Like they go to a
drugs.
party, yeah,
Yeah.
he does drugs, he drinks heavy, and because he won the title shot finally, which is what their whole family wanted, the title shot, like he's partying super hard, and then in his come up, like as he's wrestling more, he had bought a bike, and that's what he liked to do, ride this bike, and so he goes out to drive the bike. I don't know why he let him go ride. I guess the guy would have done it anyway because
Part of the time, right?
yeah, they do whatever the hell they want. Like no one really listens to each other. They all think they know best. So he would have gone out anyway. But yeah, he was super drunk. Went out and got in an accident right after his title match.
Yeah, loses his foot. Then you find out this guy also is like he's starting to wrestle, and well, he's trying to help with the family, right? Like he's gonna be Zac Efron's like tag team partner, so he's helping him. But in one of the first matches that he has, he breaks his arm or breaks his shoulder or something with his shoulder, right?
Yeah, he does a slam, falls way too hard, and something happens. You don't see it. All of a sudden, they're just there. He hurts himself, and then they go to the hospital.
Yeah, he hurts himself, and then like the surgery gets all mixed up. Like they're like, we had a complication, so we can't. He's healed from the shoulder injury, but now he's in the coma. I'd be pissed. I'd be like, what?
That you could tell Kevin's like, what? How the hell did that happen? Like this was an easy thing. Just a quick. And they're like, well, it's very rare, but it happened, and it's like that feels.
I
Like
know
a
that's
curse,
just. Oh yeah.
And that's when he has that phone call that you were talking about earlier with the girlfriend, where she's like, because he's all, I should have never let him wrestle. He never wanted to wrestle, but the dad forced him, and that's when she's like, you can't talk to him. He does whatever he wants.
Exactly. Like he shouldn't have been there. Like it's my fault that he was there, and I should have stepped up. The whole movie, though, Zac Efron is like, giving hints that he wants his brothers to stop being bullied by his dad. He tries to get his mom to help him. He tries to get his wife to help him, but he doesn't want to confront his dad and tell him like, "Hey, lay
Yeah.
off my brothers. Like, I'll take up."
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Are you the older brother out of all your brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, like I resonated with that a ton. I was like,
Yeah.
beat the shit out of me, like leave them alone,
Yeah.
like leave them alone, or like yell at me before you yell at them. Or if you're yelling at them, like if my uncles were yell at my brothers, I yell at my uncles like, hey, like you're not his mom, you're not his dad, like whatever,
Well,
like stand up for
me and
them.
you didn't grow up with dads, so it's kind of the same. We felt like the father figure in their lives, but
Mhm.
I think the same with him. Even though they grew up with their dad, in his own way, he felt like a father figure to them. Well, she says it earlier, like the older brother syndrome. He felt like he had to take care of them because when your father becomes the bully, sometimes you have to take care of them from him. And
Yeah,
so he
yeah,
was trying his best to be respectful to his dad, and at the same time look out for his brothers in a way the dad wasn't doing it. But it's hard, It's hard to
I,
do
I
that.
I think at the same time he was trying to like learn everything fast, so that way his
Yeah,
dad could push everything
like
on
Pedro
him.
said, yeah, you grow up fast in those situations.
Yeah. But yeah, like, so I don't know if you knew this. I read this somewhere, but Pedro says, I remember when Carrie had his accident and the public did not know he lost his foot until he died. So he kept that secret
Oh
for the
wow.
longest time. Yeah.
They didn't say that in the movie. They alluded to the fact that he was hiding his pain, but
Mhm.
they never said he was hiding his injury. They just
Yeah.
said, "Oh, he's trying to force the wrestling career with how painful it is for him." But they never said anything about it in the movie that he was actually they didn't know.
Yeah. When he transferred to WWF, which is like, the highest one out of all of them, his name was Texas Tornado and he would
Oh
wrestle
yeah,
some crazy matches, man. Um, but yeah, there's that scene. His dad gets pissed off. This guy gets on his bike, and he turns out to lose his foot. And I'm sorry, I keep going through this. But then, like, yeah, his brother gets all that stuff, and then all of a sudden, like from waking up from that sleep or whatever, from that coma, he kind of goes. I don't know if he goes brain dead or like he starts getting a
it's
little.
weird.
Yeah,
It's weird because they said before the coma he had 107-degree temperature, and I've heard before that like when you have temperatures that bad, it can cause brain damage.
yeah,
And so he gets out of the coma, and you could tell he's slower. He's acting weird. He's not. You could tell he's not thinking straight, but also he seems fine. Like, he seems fine. He seems capable of handling. He can do whatever he needs to do. He can take care of himself. But when he tries to do things like play guitar, which he loves, you could tell it's hard for him. Like his brain just isn't as quick as it used to be. So it's hard for him to play guitar. He feels differently. So yeah,
yeah. He starts losing it little by little, and he starts feeling, low about himself. Like he doesn't deserve to be part of this family anymore, or he's like holding them back. So he decides to like basically like off himself.
yeah, swallow a bunch of pills. And when I was watching it the second time, there was a couple behind me, a couple rows, and you could hear him every time something sad happened. Like and so in that scene when he's in the bathroom and he's swallowing the pills, you could hear the couple like, "Oh no," like I was like, "God damn."
You should be like, shut the fuck up. I'm just kidding. If y'all didn't know, they omitted the youngest brother, Chris, out of the movie and combined his traits with Mike, essentially. So yeah, there was another brother that they didn't.
I wonder. Danny told me that. Danny Lee. He was like, "There's another brother. I wonder why." And I was like, "Yeah, that's weird. They don't even mention him at all. They mentioned the oldest brother, but they never mentioned any other brothers."
I was reading somewhere is because there's already a lot of drama going on with like 4 characters, 5 characters that the extra dynamic would have like extended the movie too much.
Oh, made it really long. I mean, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have minded. It was a good movie. It doesn't feel long at all. So
It doesn't feel to me. It doesn't feel long because the story is like very.
good.
Yeah, it's good,
Like good
and
transition.
yeah, you're already like the character development. It's like it better pay off. So you're already in
Yeah.
for the long ride. So yeah, his brother was cool. I really like this guy. Like he was like the guy that got beat up all by his brothers. You know, his food got taken. Like they messed with him a lot, but they respected him, right? Like he played his music. They went to go pick him up, took him to go eat burgers. They stood up for him at times, and yeah, he was cool. And I wanted to grab this picture because they also included a picture of the brother that passed away when they were younger. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's all the brothers right there. Zac Efron's joke. Everyone else is. The mom was something else, man. The mom was like, let the dad take care of everything. I'm just
I
gonna.
think I think that was the whole point of it. Like, because like I was saying, when he goes to talk to her, I think the whole, like, the mom's kind of just there. Like,
Mhm.
she had a couple scenes and she loves her kids and she loves her husband, but she's kind of like one of those uh like housewives, back in that time where they were kind of just there, like
Yeah, just
she
have the
cooks,
kids.
she
You know?
cleans, she takes care of the house, she takes care of the family, and she's not allowed to show emotion either, which is even harder. And you see it when Mike passes away. It's a good segment because we just talked about he committed. Well, you know what he did. Anyway,
Yeah,
he so he so that happens, and the mom has to put on her funeral gown again, and she can't do it. She's like, she finally starts to show a little emotion that she's sad about her sons, and she's like, I can't do it, and she does. You can see she turns away. She doesn't even want to show emotion in front of her daughter-in-law.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. It must.
the actress did a good job, I feel, but yeah, it's kind of like she's a side character.
Yeah, I mean, she did the best she could with that role, and she did the
Yeah.
best, not just the best for that role, but she did it like she paid. She did great for that role. But I grabbed these pictures because like there's scenes where like you see them all as brothers, have fun with the dad. It's like we're playing football, but while they're playing football, having fun with them, like it gets a little bit deeper. Like it starts getting competitive to where his dad, like, what the fuck? Like, you should have done this. You should be like your brother, like your brother's like he wouldn't have never did this. And I'm just like, man, like we're out in our, in our house, like playing with brothers. Like, there's no friends involved, which is the craziest part. Like, where are their friends? Where's the crazy other people? But like, I'm sure his dad didn't want anybody around the house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good scene when they're playing. But yeah, the dad is always competitive, so he tries. I feel like he tries to pin them against each other,
Mhm.
but they're. It's almost like they don't let it get between them. Kevin and Carrie end up fighting, but like it seems like they're more competitive than Kevin and David ever were.
Yeah.
But other than that, I feel like they do a good job of, like, their dad's just kind of an ass, and they don't really let it get to him too much. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good scene.
I also grabbed this. This is like I don't like grabbing these pictures, but here you could see all brothers right here together, and I thought this was like good homage, little picture to set it off. Like this is how my brothers are. Like me and my brothers are. One's the goofball. I'm all in the middle. I'm like all like the oldest
So
brother, the goofball, and everything.
this
So
this is a good time to ask you then, because this is a question I was gonna ask you. If Since you have two brothers and I have two brothers, who would you say each of you and your brothers are?
this is definitely me. Like
Sure.
yeah, like I don't want to say it like I just know. I'm like the wolf pack leader, like
Yeah.
something happens to them, like, or something, they want to do something, I'll back them up no matter what. But
Yeah.
also like I care about like what they do. So I like try to talk to them before, they try to do whatever. Like
Yeah.
this guy did, Zac Efron tried to
Yeah.
be there for his brothers and
It kind
defend
of
them and everything.
he takes on that like all of their stress and like all the problems, he takes it all on himself.
Yeah. My other brothers, like, they're a little bit mix up of all three of these guys. Like the brother that's in the middle, King Banana, he's this guy. Oh, I'm sorry, he's this guy. He's the guy that he did track. He wore the crap out of his shoes, and like he did
Yeah.
everything sports related. So if he wanted to, he could probably join the Olympics, man. That guy he did everything.
Oh man.
But yeah, my youngest brother is this guy. He is the baby of the family. You know, everyone. My mom always treated him like, you know, a baby. He definitely got everything he wanted, but he never asked for so much. So like, but
Yeah.
yeah, this guy was like I. This guy was like a little mix of like he respected his older brother. He knew he was getting past him, but he didn't like, you know, flaunt it all or hang it over
Yeah.
him. He was like, hey, you know, you helped me get here, so it's thanks to you.
He's a
Uh,
subtle brother. Like
yeah,
he's there. He gets a lot of. It's cause like he doesn't pay attention to the. I feel like it's like that because he didn't pay attention to like wanting the fame or anything or wanting it. It came to him. I feel
yeah,
like that shit happens in real life.
it
Like
does.
Kevin really wanted it, and
Yeah,
because he really wanted it, it escaped him, and it went like the second brother. Like he kind of didn't care, and he got it. You know, and sometimes that happens.
yeah. But it's like so I'm a little mix up of all of these guys. Like I'm a goofball sometimes. I'm the silent, like quiet one sometimes. But when I need to, like I know when to play the lead, you know.
Yeah,
My mom always said this, like whatever you do, like they're gonna follow your in your footsteps. So make sure you do good, you know.
yeah.
If you
They
do
see
bad, like
everything. Yeah,
yeah, it's unwillingly, you know, like they just want to mimic you or whatever. That
yeah,
fell on me like really early and really hard when I was growing up, and I was like, fuck, man, like,
yeah. You can't. Yeah, exactly. It's pressure. You can't make a mistake.
hmm
You can't do anything. Otherwise, that's a big thing. Like even when your brothers get in trouble, it's like, where were you? You know, or
yeah,
like
yeah,
like
automatically,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. You're in trouble, and it's like, what the hell? I didn't. But it's on you, man.
No, that's when you grind them though. You're like, what the fuck, man? No, I'm
Yeah,
getting my ass
outside
whooped. Like,
passive,
no, you can get
smack
you whooped
him
now.
with the
Yeah.
yeah, wrestle,
Nah.
wrestle with him. Yeah,
No, it's a good like comparison because like I think all brothers like they fall under one of these categories, right? Like leader,
yeah.
like baby, and all that stuff. But for yourself, where do you fall under?
Well, for sure, for sure, Kevin. I know Kevin's the cool one, like, and the super yoked one, so we want to say Kevin. But no, for all those reasons you said, like, everything falls on him for sure. But this is the thing: I'm Kevin on my good days, and I would say on my bad days, I'm Carrie. On my good days and stuff, like all that pressure and everything for sure. But on the bad days, because Carrie kind of is like angry and he turns to, I'm not gonna say I'm a drug addict, I'm not a drug addict, but he
Mm,
drinks, he lets the shit get to him kind of.
mhm.
And I'm definitely Kevin when I can be, but some days I'm Carrie. And then my middle brother is for sure David, the one on the left. He's that brother that's like, he never had to try to be special. Like, Kevin's trying to be the best wrestler. He's trying to be the best for family. I always try to be the best in sports, try to be the best at everything, but he still gets recognition. Like the middle brother,
Yeah,
for some reason he doesn't care about any of it, but it all just like he just gets he's popular, he gets the praise. And that's my middle brother. And then my youngest brother, he's definitely Mike. I feel like Mike, that actor, did a good job playing a young brother because first of all, my youngest brother looks like him. He's a half brother, so he's half white. He's tall as hell. He has that same stupid haircut that I tell him like,
yeah.
what the
This
hell,
is
get a haircut, man. But
Yeah,
he doesn't get a haircut, and he's kind of just does his own thing, kind of goofy, and that's definitely my youngest brother. He kind of just does whatever his other brothers tell him. He's just there, kind of.
yeah, yeah. You know what's funny? Like, I don't think I think I've seen it in this movie a couple times from this guy, but like, I've had my brothers come up to me like, he say like, hey, like, so I want to tell you something really quick. You did something when we were younger that really helped me later on, and if you never, did that for me, I was like, I don't know what you're trying to do. Like, trying to make me cry. Like,
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
You get
you
all weird.
try to set me up or something. Like, what did
Yeah,
I do? He's
they
like,
did that. They did that better in the movie.
Mm,
Oh well, I guess you could kind of. They kind of showed that, like where it gets real awkward. Cause yeah, your brothers will come on you and they'll tell you some stuff, and you're like, all right, stop being weird, you know, like
Yeah.
okay, all right, yeah, it's unspoken, it's, you know, it's just one of those things. But they did that when he's throwing up in the bathroom at
Yeah.
the wedding, and he's talking to him, and he's kind of like, you know, he's like telling him, he's kind of, Kevin's confiding in him, and and the brother's like, you know, I never meant to do any, like, to be the one, you know, and his brother's like, nah, you deserve it or whatever, and then that's when the brother's like, man, you're losing your competitive edge, you got married, and so that's kind of his way. It was like, hey man, come on, cut this shit out.
Yeah, exactly. But the whole dynamic, man, like I'm telling you, like it was kind of like I think, you know, I have like friends and cousins that are only kids, but like it must be different for them, like to watch this movie or to even like grow up with sisters. It must be different. I
That's
grew up with
crazy.
one
I couldn't
sister.
imagine.
Yeah.
I had a stepsister for a while, and I absolutely hated her. So, and I hated my stepbrothers for a while, because they're my youngest brother's half brothers.
Yeah.
So my mom remarried when me and my other brother were in middle school, and so I had two stepbrothers and a stepsister, and we don't even talk to them really. But yeah, it was different having a sister.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also a stepsister, so it's completely different. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what it's like growing up with. I had cousins that hung out with us a lot, and that was kind of like where I had like the sister type.
Yeah.
I'd have girl cousins over all the time because they loved my mom, because my mom was the fun aunt.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't ever regret growing up with brothers or having that role of like the oldest brother, you know, like, I'm glad it was me. Like, still, even everything we've gone through, like, I'm glad it was me.
It's a gift and a curse at the same time.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say. Like, I talk about this with my other friend who's an older brother all the time, and it's like, it's a good thing because it makes you strong in a way that nothing else will, but at the same time, it's a lot of
weight.
It's a lot. Yeah.
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 All right, let's keep
Hey,
going.
but stop being weird, man. Come on.
That's why we're this picture right here. I was like, this is us now, baby. Look at that. Look at, this guy looks. I love saying that word now, yolk. Like, fucking yolk, son. Nah, but yeah, Zac Efron, awesome actor in this movie. He didn't say much, or like, I don't know what it was about this movie where I thought his acting skills weren't like put to the top, like proven to the top. He had small like little parts, but he delivered like perfectly in every single thing.
So I was gonna mention this. I think he played the role amazing. It was a great role. I will say there were two scenes where I felt like Zac Efron popped out. Like, he was Zac Efron in that moment. And one of them's when he's at lunch with his girl for the first time. They're on their date, and she's like, what does she say to him? She says something to him, and he's like, I almost feel like he lost his Texas accent, and it's Zac Efron. Like, he got excited, and he's like, oh yeah. And I was like, that was Zac Efron. And then
you're like, got you.
Got you. And then there was another scene, the same thing, where he gets super excited, and I feel like you could see Zac Efron, like his voice didn't have that Texas accent anymore. Just a couple split seconds, but I thought it didn't bug me or anything. I was just like, oh, there he is, you know.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure to get that accent down for a whole movie, like 50 days, 60 days, however many days they are on set, like it like you hope they carry, but yeah, it's so cool. So this is the final clip I got. It's all of them hugging each other, and this is like when they win the 3-way tag team champion, whatever. They're like look at it with no shoes on, just underwear. All of them are like all happy, and these happy moments last for like seconds. Then his dad just like ruins it. He's like, all right, we're gonna go after you, WWF, but it's not gonna be Zac Efron, it's gonna be this other guy. I was like, what the fuck?
It's a really weird movie because I don't normally like very sad movies. Like, normally I'm like, I don't want to watch that again. If something makes me sad, I don't want to watch it again, you know? It could be great and amazing, but I still don't want to watch it again. And this one, like, it is extremely sad, but at the same time, it's very happy. It's a weird mix. I don't know that I've ever watched a movie that's the same, that's that
The,
same way, but it's good.
I think it's the family dynamic that like sets this like separates this from a lot of other movies, like other sad movies. Like
Yeah,
this one, like a lot of character development was done initially in the very beginning, and then like so I wanted to talk to you about this too. So this is the only last clip I got. It's because they didn't have any images on Google for some reason of the kids, Zac Efron's kids. So in
yeah,
the last scene, he's sitting down and he's seeing his kids play, football with each other, and he just starts tearing up all of a sudden. Like he's just crying, like crying.
yeah.
He
That was
starts
the best.
crying,
That was the best.
and then his kids come up to him and go like, "Hey, like, Dad, like, why are you crying?" And he goes like, "Oh, I'm sorry, like men aren't supposed to cry." And then like his kid goes like, "Oh, I cry all the time, like
Yeah, yeah,
I cry all the time."
yeah,
And then he goes like, "Why are you crying, though?" And he goes like, "Oh, like, you know I just look at YouTube play, and I've realized like I don't have brothers anymore."
yeah,
And then it's so simple, man. Like
yeah.
kids are like the
Kids, yeah,
most honest thing in the world. But the kid was like, "Oh, like I could be your brother." Like it was like I was like,
yeah.
"Fuck, man!" Like if this kid dies right now, oh, this is a dream. I'm gonna push
I
that.
know the damn.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was sad,
yeah.
and happy at the same time.
Mhm.
So that was a cool way to end it.
Yeah, but like during that scene too, I don't know if you captured it. Like right before all that, you see the wife. She's pregnant again,
Yeah,
and she's
yeah.
tending to her garden. She's taking care of her garden, and Zach, it looks like they're being prosperous now. Like they made good decisions now. They
They're
have their own
finally happy.
house.
Like
Yeah,
maybe
they're
the curse
happy.
is lifted now.
Yeah, well, I think so. We should talk about that too. The curse. The curse. She never believed in it. She said it's just circumstances that led you here. So
I would
it's.
say it's the dad. I'll say the only curse is the dad. I feel like none of that shit would have happened
Mhm.
without the dad, and he could have. I feel like he could have changed a lot of it. That was the biggest curse. Was the dad?
Yeah, it's definitely that. But I'm sorry, I completely missed this part. But let me get back. This guy dies. He basically offs himself. Like
Yeah, he couldn't
gra-
handle it anymore.
yeah. So he goes like, "Hey, I won the belt from WWF, but now they're gonna put me in like the indie shows. I won't be on
Yeah,
camera anymore. So like, they're already getting rid of me before I even like get any further." And so he gives up, like you said, and he goes like, he's telling Zach Efron like, "Hey man, like I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna join my brothers or whatever. I want to go with my
yeah,
brothers." And Zach Efron's like, "Don't tell me that. Like, how dare you tell me that?"
yeah. After everything we've been through, you're gonna tell me it's same
Yeah.
shit over again.
And I completely get it, man. It's like we lost our brothers, and like I can't lose you now. So whatever you need, just tell me where you're at, and I'll pick you up. Like that's what Zach Efron says, right?
Yeah,
And then like come to find out the next day, like he offs himself. But the scene that was crazy is like you see this guy start jumping on 2 feet. He's like, "Oh shit! Like look
that
at
was
this shit,"
a that was a interesting scene. Like, cause it's the only like obviously that never happened. You know what I mean? But it's a really good scene. Yeah, when he's jumping and then he's going to see his brothers. Well, I didn't get the quarter thing. So he's on
Mhm.
the boat. He puts the quarter next to him, which I'm guessing that's the quarter that his dad flipped when he got to win the title. But I'm like, that didn't resonate with me really because I was like, wait a minute, was that a fake quarter? Like, what the fuck? What was like? Is that his quarter? I didn't get that anyway. I
I
don't
think
know.
it's a religious thing. I do remember seeing it or hearing it in a movie or religious thing where like you have to pay. I think it's like Hades, or you have to pay the guy that
The ferries
uh,
you over. That
to
was
the
like
other
a.
side.
That's like in well, like Achilles or whatever. Troy. Like
Yeah,
they
something
put
like
the
that.
coins on him for
And
the
then you get
ferry to that'll carry your soul. Okay, well if it's that, that makes sense because I guess they are Von Erichs, so maybe they're like it's like a Viking kind of thing, or I don't know.
yeah. So like he puts the coin down, and I love the scene where he's just drifting. Starts drifting on that little boat or canoe, whatever. Yeah. So he says quarter is to pay the toll for the ferry.
Okay,
So
that makes sense then.
he starts drifting, and I love the camera work. So he starts drifting, and you think it's gonna end there, like oh, like this is him going off to heaven, but then the camera goes to the left, and you see all three brothers there, and I was like, oh, this is so touching, man.
Yeah, I
He's gonna
know.
go see his brothers.
Yeah,
So it's cool because he gets up, he's like, brothers, and he
yeah,
starts hugging each one of them, and then like behind the tall ass guy, he sees his older brother, but he's still young, I think he's like 5 years old or
yeah.
something. And he grabs them, he picks them up, and they all start hugging each other. And I was like, dang, man, this is like,
Sad. Yeah,
yeah, it's four
touching.
brothers, man. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. That's crazy. All died young. That sucks.
and yeah, all of them start hugging each other. And then like it was interesting because like I wasn't sure if that was Zach Efron's like way of thinking his brothers joining them all going to heaven, or if that was this character's way of thinking.
That's true.
So
Cause he's kind of sitting there, looking at
yeah,
his brother, cause he carried him inside, and he's kind of sitting there looking at him like. So maybe he was imagining like cause this is another sad thing that's happened to him, and so he's imagining like, well, maybe they're all together and happy, and it's like, I can think of it that way instead of being so damn sad. And because that was also one of the most like, I won't say it's the best scene in the movie, but it's a super emotional scene when he goes to see his brother, and he goes in the house, the door's open, he can't find him, and he just hears the shot, and he runs outside, he sees his brother, and he freaks out, and the dad's running up, and he finally, Kevin snapped. That was it, and he runs up, and I told you to watch him, and he chokes
yeah,
the shit out of his dad, and I felt that emotion in there because I was like, finally, like this whole time you're like the freaking dad, like, dude, you could have changed all this, and now another brother gone, So
yeah.
like, he finally is like, he snaps and he attacks his dad, and which is also real. That shit happens. My uncles used to attack my grandpa all the time. But like,
Yeah,
yeah, that was a super emotional scene too.
yeah. So going back towards the end, like they're, Zac Efron's with his kids and everything, and then like it zooms out after the whole scene, like of them talking to each other. But the cool part in the very end, right before the credits, it goes like Zac Efron and his wife had two more kids, and those kids had like 23 kids. So now they're like grandparents to like 43 kids or something. And I was like, damn,
Yeah.
Zac Efron.
And he finally got his what he he wanted a ranch with his
Yeah.
whole family. And so even though a lot of sad stuff happened and it didn't seem like it was going to happen, I think in the end, that's when he's talking to his kids, he realizes like, there's still a possibility for happiness, and he ends up getting what he wanted, his dream of his whole family on the ranch, and they're all together.
Yeah, I think that's when he realizes
Bro.
like,
Oh, go ahead.
no, I think that's when he realizes like it's not a curse anymore. It's up to him to make up his own like luck or
Yeah.
whatever he thinks. And then he realizes that like I could have like held on my dad this whole time. I was I was stronger than him. I think I had like all this respect for him, but like with my brothers around, I didn't want to do that in front of them and just like
Yeah.
negate everything we were raised for and everything like that. So
Yeah.
he held back to the very end.
And this is just a funny thing. I don't know if you thought the same thing, but it shows that picture of all the actual like family, the real
Yeah.
family. And there's that one dude on the side that's throwing the baby in the air. That fool launched that baby
Yeah,
like
that
10
baby
feet
was
in the air.
high.
I was like,
Yeah.
that baby's going to
That
I
looks
don't even know if
photoshopped.
he's going to
Yeah.
catch that baby. Yeah, that fool was high. I was like,
This is gonna be
"God
messed
damn."
up. It's a curse again.
Yeah, oh, shit.
No, I'm kidding.
That was funny, though. I was
Pedro,
like, what the hell?
it seemed like it was Kevin's fantasy of his brothers in heaven as a way to cope with this tragedy in front of him. Yeah,
That's
true.
a good way. I didn't think about that while watching it, but I feel like that's probably the best
His
way
way
to
of
think of it. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, that's the end of the movie. It closes off like right after those pictures of the real life family, and like, man, that boy yoked, man. He was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
So usually at the end of this, I ask everyone, what's your score and what's your final thoughts on this movie?
We gave a lot of thoughts.
Yeah.
I feel like you watch the whole thing, you'll know. I'm just gonna repeat myself, but the final thoughts is You don't need to be a wrestling fan to watch it. It's a good movie even without the wrestling aspect, but the wrestling makes it cool too. Like, you could be a bodybuilding fan, you could be a wrestling fan, you could just be a family guy, you could be whatever and enjoy this movie. And especially if you're a brother, especially, there's a lot of things that could make this resonate with you. So final thoughts are, it's freaking amazing. One of the best of 23, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Same thing with me. Like I think this whole movie built up character development is a big thing for me. The scenes were specific to like the time and everything. It gave you, like one of the guys said, it launched you back to the 70s. Like I felt like everything. I was there basically. That's what it felt like. Towards the end, I was like, man, like at the very end, there's a good payoff. Like it's probably not the one I wanted or they probably wanted, but it is like what it is, right? Like it happened and this is the story of it.
Shit happens.
Yeah. This is like a weird thing, but like like me and you, like we were mentioning it the whole time. Like we have younger brothers, and I feel like this is the same stuff that we go through or we've gone through, like in a sort of probably in a sort of way or at one point in life.
Yeah.
But I connected with that, and as soon as I connected with that, I just like jolted the movie to another level for me.
Yeah.
I love the movie. I recommend the movie. Go check it out. I think the guy at the theater said it's going to be out for another week. So, if you get a chance, go check it out. For me, I gave it an A, like probably an A plus, to be honest. A plus, like highly recommend.
Whatever rating system we use, 1 through 10, A, 1 through 5, whatever. It's the top. It's the top. Like I wouldn't change a thing about it. It's a good movie.
Yeah. Pedro says 4 out of 5 for me. Overall, I enjoyed it, but I felt I missed on a few details like the steroid use and how big and beloved they were in the DFW.
That's a good point. I would say if you're a wrestling fan, because like I said, Danny Lee seems to be a big wrestling fan.
Mm-hmm.
I would say if you know a lot about the family and the story, there might be some things they skip or some differences. And I will say that'll probably lower the grade for you if you love it that much and you wanted to see a certain thing in there. That I could see that lowering the grade. So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree too. But at the same time, if I got too much Ric Flair or if I got too much of another WWF like superstar, I feel like it would have derived from like the overall story. Like it would have pushed it to wrestling. This movie was more about, for me, it was more about family and the way brothers grew up,
with wrestling there. Yeah.
But I do agree if you're a wrestling fan and those details stick out to you, like. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed this movie. Like, second movie that I enjoyed this week. You should watch our review on the other movie from yesterday. It was pretty badass, man.
Really?
Yeah.
I never even heard of that movie, so the one
check it out.
Just reviewed.
Yeah, check it out. I think I got it for $4 through I think Amazon. It's called Barbarian, so it's worth it. Way worth it.
All right, I'll check it out.
So I want to do more movies this year. Like it's only January, and I've only done 2-3 movies, and I want to do way more. What else? But
I'm always down to do movies, man. If you let me know, even if you want to do movies in theater, you want to go see something and then do that, I'll do whatever. I go to the theater all the time. So then I think the only thing coming out right now, so in the A24 realm, did you see that trailer for that what's it called, Lethal Blood? It's the bodybuilding chick, and then it had what's that girl's name? I like that girl too, and no one liked the girl from Twilight.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Did you see that trailer where
I didn't
she's
see the
like,
trailer.
her dad is Ed Harris, and he's like, they work at a gun shop in a small town, but he's also like, her dad is also like the drug dealer in the town, like the head guy, and she's the daughter, so like she's kind of has to deal with that, and then like she meets this girl, she falls in love with her, it seems. But then the girl like figures out what's going on, and like, I don't know. It looked interesting, but also because the bodybuilding aspect, like the girl she meets is a bodybuilder back in the 80s or whatever. So she looks good. It's the girl from it's crazy because it's the girl from uh man, is it Mandalorian or Andor? The short-haired like Mexican girl. I don't remember. It might have been Mandalorian. She's like a bad. She's a part of the Empire or the Rebellion, whatever they are. The in the suits, but anyway, she looked good in it, and she looked big too, like yoked. She looked yoked, man.
I'm only interested in Zac Efron, so just a heads up.
Oh no.
No kidding.
But that looked good. That's coming out, and then I think the one that I want to see like right now is Beekeeper. With Jason Statham. You're not into it?
I'll watch it. I'll watch it with you. Like I definitely watch it. Like
I was talking to my other buddy about this. It's essentially any other Jason Statham movie.
Yeah.
With a new, he's just got a new occupation. Either the dude's a beekeeper, a mechanic, a transporter, a freaking. It's always the same thing, just a different occupation. But
multiverse, baby, multiverse.
Yeah, there you
go. Gina Carano. Is that
girl? No. She's you won't know her. She was a small scene. I'll show you real quick, just because we're talking about it. So.
Yeah. Well, for me, like, I'm down to watch any movie. If you want to do, we should call it that movie in the theaters. That's what we should call it. I'm cool. I'm down with that. I watch a lot. Well, I'm going to try to watch a lot more movies in theaters. So.
You don't have that AMC pass?
No, man. I pay. I go early in the morning to go watch movies.
And you
now.
get the 20% off or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. I only paid like $13 today.
I got the AMC pass, man. I go a lot, but I got it because they had a deal. Anyway, this is the.
Oh yeah, I got you. I forgot about her. She definitely looked like a man.
She's in this. She's like, they give her a big wig that's like big curly hair like the 80s, but she's buff as hell. Anyway, yeah, if you guys have AMC and you go to the movies a lot, get the Stubbs pass. I recommend it. Sometimes when I got it, it was $1 for the first month, so I jumped in at $1, and then it's $25 a month after that, and you get 3 free movies a week. So yeah, so like I go see all the time, and then you get discounts depending on I think there's a level to each pass, but depending on which, you get discounts for the drinks and everything, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I could use that drink thing, that discount, that drink.
I didn't know. I don't remember that the last time.
But I'm gonna play this clip one more time. I just wanna play it. I love this.
Pop tried to protect us with wrestling. He said if we were the toughest, the strongest, nothing could ever hurt us.
Come on, damn it!
I believed him. We all
Boy.
did. That's a good scene, man. That makes me
Yeah.
want to go hit the ropes.
Easy now. Don't break your back.
Wow.
Eddie, I had a great time. I'm glad I got to watch this movie, and I'm glad you stopped by to do the review with me. I really appreciate it. I really do want to do more movies, so if we'll plan it out or something. Like we could do more movies. But you got anything coming up for yourself, man?
I got nothing on the channel, but I'll be streaming tomorrow on LWO. It's on 6 Scale Reviews channel.
Mm-hmm.
So Dan and Dre's channel. That'll be at 7. It's usually 7:30 Pacific Standard Time, so 10:30 Eastern. And then Marco messaged me while we were doing this and asked about doing Bargain Bin Bros tomorrow morning. So we might be doing that over on 16 Fix channel.
Okay.
Tomorrow morning. He usually does it around 8 or 9ish in the morning Pacific Standard Time, but
yeah,
that's it for the next couple of days.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna drop you guys off with the best there is, the best there was, the best there will ever be, and then I'll drop you off with some dick. So in case you guys are interested, look it up. Shawn Michaels draws dicks on all his autographs, so mine's bigger than yours. So just a heads up. Thank you guys, Pedro and everybody that stopped by. That was fun. Again, Eddie,
thanks for
again.
all the interaction, Pedro.
Yeah, Pedro, man. This guy always shows up. He has to join in one of the shows one day, man. Like, just just do this. Like, hey, just do this and just talk all the smack you want.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta
Do I
do.
have to have the camera on?
Yeah. All right, Pedro. You guys have a good night. Peace.